today we're going to talk about making a board game, which is something fun you can do with your spring break. And it's pretty much free, and you can do it with stuff you find around your house. When you're making a board game, you can make all kinds of board games. You can make something that's really simple, just colors. You can make something that's really complicated with dragons and fire and all kinds of stuff. And a lot of times when people make board games, there's some kind of a theme. Like, it's about something, right? I mean, think about the games you've played. Candyland's about candy. Monopoly's about owning property, right? So you could make one about a video game. You could make one about a book that you've read, okay? You get to decide your adventure because it's going to be your game. Let's see how to do it.
So I started with an old cereal box, opened it up, trimmed off the edges. Don't forget the box top. You may need help from an adult getting the sides all trimmed up nice and neat. And then I flattened it out, took some pieces of paper that were used on one side, but the other side was blank, so it was fine. Got it all taped in place, and before you know it, I'm ready to make my game. I decided to make my game about Bubbles, and I'm going to have Bubbles kind of lost out there, and she's got to find a way back home. So I've got a road that I've drawn and a river. Here's a tree, and I'm going to have some birds in that tree just to make it interesting and different and have some things happening. Even got some people up here, and then down in the corner I'm going to have Bubbles' little home so she has a place to go to. Now, full disclosure, I did sketch this out with a pencil first. I did not freehand draw this with a marker. It's best to draw something with a pencil first because then you know where things are going to go. So you can see my path, squiggly wiggly all through, make all my little spaces, and then we're going to have to decide how Bubbles finds her way.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about how we move around the board. And what we move around the board, right? So there's usually markers, something that you have that you put on the board that shows where you are and everybody decides what they are. You can be really creative. It could be a small toy you have. It could be a cool rock you find outside. It could be a foot from Miles Club. It could be some strange thing that you found in your junk drawer, right? You can find all kinds of things that can be your markers. It doesn't have to be something that's bought for a game, right? And as far as moving, you can roll a die, or if you don't have one of those, you can make your own spinner. I made a spinner. I just cut out a circle and did 1, 2, 3, and 4 on it. And then I have a paper clip here, and I straighten one of the edges. I can put the hooked part of the paper clip down here and hold it with the pencil, and then I can spin. I got a 4. Awesome. Finally, I have to make my game have a point, okay? This is Bubbles, and she's trying to get home. That's a point, right? But I want my game to be a learning game, and it's going to be about social skills. Bubbles' social skills game. And so I've got stars and questions on the board. Some board games have things written on the squares to tell you what to do, but I had more writing that would fit in a square, and my handwriting's not that good. So I did cards. I have star cards, and I have question cards. So if you land on a star space, you pick a star card. This star card says, you yelled at your brother for a small problem. Move back 3 spaces. That wasn't a good choice. Well, this star card says, oh, you waved politely to an acquaintance. Move ahead 2 spaces. That's good. All right? Next, there's question cards. Question cards have a rule. There's going to be a social skills question on that card. And if the other people that I'm playing with agree that my answer is a good answer, then I get to roll again. But if the other people I'm playing with think that maybe I need to work a little harder and learn that one a little bit better, then I need to stay on my spot until I answer another question. So, for instance, This question card says, what's the difference between a stranger and a friend? Do you know? Now, if I answered that in a way that the people I was playing with felt like that was good, then I would get to roll or spin again. If, on the other hand, they thought maybe I didn't quite get that yet, then I would need to wait till it was my turn again and have another question card. This one says, who can you ask for help at a store? Good question. So, that's my game, Bubbles Social Skills game. And it's going to use things that I find around the house, spinner that I made, and practice social skills that I've learned. I can't wait to see what kind of game you make. Show me.